Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video I am going to be going over ED3 trash mob farming. Now this has been one of the better money making methods and combat training methods in the game for a while now, and I even made a guide on it back in December of 2019. So since then there has been a few changes to ED3 mob farming in an attempt to nerf it, and in this video I'm going to head back to the Shadow Reef and show you guys just how good ED3 mob farming is in 2021. I hope you guys enjoy. So first off, there are a few recommendations for this, however there aren't any requirements. So the only recommendations are 75 magic, ranged, or melee stats. If you have at least 75, you should be able to go through the mobs and get to the first boss. So try and have those stats. 60 defense is recommended as well. That way you won't take an excess amount of damage. Now also 43 prayer is really helpful and almost a requirement. You will need this so you can use protect from melee against these mobs. So you will really want 43 prayer if you are looking at doing this method. Now following this, the Curse of the Blackstone quest is also recommended. This will give you a 10% damage reduction within all elite dungeons, including this one. So of course it is really helpful. Finally, overloads. Of course they're going to be super helpful. If you don't have overloads, you can bring other stat boosting potions like a super War Master potion. You could even bring super ranging, super magic potions as well, depending on your combat style. And finally, 92 prayer for soul split is helpful as well. You can use that protect from melee, however soul split is better at times, so if you do have that, again it will be really helpful. Now moving on to the gear setup, as you guys can see I am using magic. I do find this the best combat style to use, especially if you do have greater chains. So you can also see that I am using a demon horn necklace. I do have a bone crusher, so all the bones will automatically be buried. And since I do have this necklace on, I will be getting 50 prayer points every time I do bury bones. So basically every mob that I'm killing, I'm replenishing my prayer points. This is really helpful to have. You can also see that I am using the Vampirism aura. This is another really great aura to use for this method. It will allow you to restore life points depending on the amount of damage that you do deal. As for my inventory, you can see that I am using an enhanced Excalibur. It's just a great way of restoring some life points every 5 minutes. I also have my Holy Overloads as well as the Super Restores. And then I'm also bringing some Blue Charms just because you will get them from the dungeon and you actually will get quite a bit, which we will get into later. And then following that, I'm just bringing a full inventory of food. It is really easy. You're just going to be going through the mobs until you reach the first dungeon. So an inventory of food should be good. Then of course you'll teleport out and grab more food if you need it. So for Elite Dungeon 3 trash mob farming, basically you will just be going through all of the mobs until you reach the first boss, teleporting out and repeating. So as you guys can see on screen, the path you will be taking looks like this. So there are a few mobs that you will avoid killing since they are quite strong and they'll take a bit too much time to kill while you are not really getting too much in return. So these are going to be the sea horrors, which are located in the bottom left of this map, where I mentioned that you can skip them. But besides that, you're going to want to be going through the dungeon and killing every other mob until you get to the first boss. Now there are two ways of getting to the Shadow Reef. One is by using the PVM hub teleport. However, you will need to have completed the Shadow Reef dungeon at least once, and it can even be in story mode. Alternatively, you can teleport to Daemonheim and run to the entrance here. You will want to join the normal mode so that you will get the regular drops when you are killing these mobs. So as you guys saw on the map in the previous section, you're just going to want to be going through the dungeon, following that path until you reach the first boss, teleport out, and repeat. So now that you know the basics, let's get into the comparisons. So after doing an hour of ED3, I managed to get right around 4 million coins worth of items. So a lot of the money is coming from the reef relics. I actually managed to get one of the rare reef relics, where these do alch for 1 million coins. These are a rare drop, but you should expect to get right around 1 rare reef relic each hour. So comparing this to the last time I showcased this method back in December of 2019, around then you could obtain right around 5 to 6 mil per hour while also receiving up to 1.5 mil XP per hour. And honestly, it is very similar to the rates that you do see now. As you can see, a lot of these items, they are alchable, so the prices on them, they don't really drop at all. So the GP per hour is going to be fairly similar. I would say it's around 4 to 5 mil GP per hour, and that is really consistent as well. As for the XP per hour that I did manage to gain, I got right around 1.2 mil XP per hour. And I probably completed right around 9 runs in this hour. You could push this a little bit more, possibly up to 12 ED3 trash mob runs per hour. And this would allow you to make right around 5 mil per hour, and you could get that 1.5 mil XP per hour. Now, in the past, they have nerfed the XP rate of ED3, but they only nerfed it for the group rates. So, for example, if you were a lower level player, and you went with some high level players, they could carry you through the dungeon and you would get these XP rates. However, they did nerf it, so it does depend on the amount of damage you deal on the mobs for the amount of XP that you will gain. So if you are doing this solo, you still will be able to get that 1 to 1.5 million XP per hour. But if you are doing a group ED3 run, you're going to be expected to see less XP per hour, depending on your combat level. But still, it is going to be really great. I mean, if you have that 75 recommending combat stats, you will still be able to get some pretty good XP per hour, I would say right around 700k. But if you are using the gear that I was using and doing it basically exactly how I was doing it, you're going to be getting 1.2 mil XP per hour. And that is without any boosts at all. So that is really insane. And it's awesome that this method is so good. Even though it was broken 2 years ago, it's still broken now. And not only that, you are getting a lot of blue charms out of this as well, which is something that a lot of people don't really think about. 100 blue charms per hour is pretty good. And not to mention, you're getting an insane amount of XP per hour and making a decent profit as well. All in all, ED3 trash mob farming is still one of the best combat training methods in the game, and it can be even one of the best money-making methods for mid-level players as well, since there aren't any requirements, and you only really need a decent combat level to do this method. So anyway guys, if you haven't already checked out ED3 trash mob farming, or you're a mid or new level player who's looking to get some really fast combat XP, this is definitely something that you're going to want to try out. Anyway guys, that is all I have for you in today's video. I really hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.